black out. We in the penthouse. Don't throw stones to the glass house. Especially with a glass mouth.
Hello, my name is Chi.
And my name is Edward, and you're watching Zygostatics, and today we're going to
talk about how to get wider hips. So first of all, we're going to talk about the different types of hips and how you're going to get your hips wider.
So on the left side here, we've got wide hips. This is just general wide hips. If you have a pear-shaped or hourglass physique, naturally by bone structure, it just means your hips are just naturally wider. And in that situation, you're going to appear to have wide hips just because the bone and the structure is there for it. And
then you have insta hips. Now the hips here, you can tell the gradient is a little bit sharper, almost like a 45 to 90 degree angle here. The fat is very visible around the waist and then around the thighs. There's no real structure of muscle.
And the hips start so high, it's almost like the hips, it's almost like you're seeing a 3D image from the front. The hips start almost behind them, and when they turn to the side, you realize it's actually the fact that you're seeing part of their butt, even though they're standing facing you. It's impossible, like literally impossible.
You shouldn't be able to see someone's butt from
the widest
front.
part should be the hips, or just a little bit lower than the hips itself. This black line is actually just showing you guys where the hip bone starts, you see, and the end of the hip bone will be somewhere here. So if you're seeing anything up there like looking really weird, that's the result of lipo and fat transfer. Yeah, that's the insta hips.
And then you have the normal hips. So these hips are basically usually on people with mesomorphic type of physique. You have apple physiques or rectangular physique. So mesomorphic will have wider shoulders and narrower legs and hips.
Yeah. So now we've explained obviously the different types of hips, we can explain how you can get them wider. So number one, obviously if you have normal hips, you could always gain tons of weight and then go and lipo everything and send it all the way down below. But the reason why you don't want to do this, I'm a pharmacist, if you were to transfer all the fat up top, down below, naturally science says that if you have more fat down below, you've got metabolic benefits, which means that you have less of a risk of having a heart attack, stroke, less of the risk of having cancer. You're not really considered as being that obese for a female, because naturally the fat distribution is always going to favor downstairs unless you are post-menopause. So if you do transfer all of the fat downstairs, you're still liable to have a heart attack. The visceral fat is going to be there, and scientific studies, which we're going to put at the bottom or in the description of this video, is going to show you exactly why I don't recommend going through that procedure.
Okay, so now let's get into the point. How do you build wider hips? First of all, you need a caloric surplus diet. This means basically that you need to make sure that you're eating more, or you're eating food with more calories than usual. For example, you can add an avocado to your meal in order to increase the calories. Or for example, you can use extra virgin olive oil on top of your salads. So eating a caloric surplus diet is going to help you increase your overall mass.
So number two, you want to check that your hormones are obviously in check. So check that your hormones are in check.
How do you check if your hormones are in check?
How do you check? Let me explain to you how you check your hormones are in check. What you need to do is you need to work out, are you taking anything that's going to affect your hormones? And for females, I'm talking about contraceptive pills. That can affect your hormones. Anything that affects your hormones can obviously change the distribution of fat. I'm not sure if there's any studies that have looked into it and found that there's a link, but there is lots of studies that show that contraceptive pills can actually cause weight gain among females, and a lot of it is weight they don't want upstairs. Yeah, so if your hormones are fine and everything's good and you're living a healthy life, you generally shouldn't put too much fat up top unless your diet is filled with lots of unclean foods, such as, you know, donuts, lots of sugary foods, because that's going to stimulate fat distribution upstairs. Studies that have used low GI foods have shown that the fat distribution goes downstairs preferentially. And also, last thing you want to check as well is that your thyroid gland is obviously in check. Some women have issues with their thyroids, and if your thyroid gland activity is low, that's gonna obviously preferentially cause fat to get stored up top, and you could have an apple-shaped physique. And yeah, if you don't sort that out, no amount of exercise is really gonna help you. Number three.
Okay, so let's talk about low GI food. So he's already brushed up on this. Try and stay away from things like sugary donuts, sweets, loads of chocolates, coffee with a lot of sugar in it, you need to really consider cutting it down, because what happens with sugar is it becomes fat when it's stored in the body.
Yeah, so if you have an excess of sugar, you're going to end up with fat storage. It normally gets stored as glycogen in your muscles, but if there's too much sugar in your blood, your body's going to try and get rid of it. So it can only store so much in your muscles. The rest of it is going to get converted into fat, and it's not going to be stored in the best place. It's going to be stored wherever it wants to be stored. And lastly, the workout, which we're going to get into. I know it's been 10 years since we started this video. So the workout's going to help to train the muscles that surround the hips. So just to conclude, if you're in the category that already has wide hips, all you need to do is literally just have a caloric surplus. You want to maintain your training. You want to train once a week on the same day for the same muscle groups. So don't train the muscle group more than once. Now, if you have a normal physique, what do you do?
So if you have a normal physique, you need to make sure that you are very strict on your calories. You need to keep on increasing them in a healthy way. I'm not saying eating loads of greasy food, but healthy calories like avocados. There's a ton.
Extra virgin olive oil. One tablespoon is about 115 calories.
Don't cut your carbs. If you cut your carbs,
no carb cutting,
you'll lose your gains,
That's
especially your bum. It's the easiest way to just flatten your bum so quickly.
And you're going to screw up your metabolism. What you'll find is that when you reintroduce the carbs and you start eating normally again, a lot of the fat's going to come up top. Just to wrap everything up as well, if you had the normal type physique, you're not going to end up with insta hips. You're not going to end up with an hourglass or pear-shaped hips, neither. But you're going to increase the amount of, you're going to increase the sweep. So you're going to have some type of hip there or some type of hips there. You're never going to match someone who's got the genetics as well. But the whole point of this video is also to let you know that you shouldn't try and be someone else. Like, rock your physique. Like, someone who's got the pear-shaped physique can't look like someone who's mesomorphic or can't look like someone who's aesthetic. You've got the hip bones there, that's going to distort the physique. They can't get as lean. Someone who's pear-shaped can't get as lean
without hip dips.
Yeah, without huge hip dips. And literally, if you wanted to get lean down below, you're going to end up being a skeleton up top. You're going to look skinny and you're going to look bony. Everyone, each to his own. Everyone's got their own physique, but this is going to help you out if you want to get wider hips. Alright, let's go.
Bloody hip.
It's so disgusting, I cannot discuss them. You want to know the truth, but you ain't got the stomach.
So, the first exercise we're going to do is 20 lateral leg raises. Before I demonstrate how to do these, I'm going to give you some essential advice about the form. First, what not to do. Do not raise your leg laterally using your knees or ankles. We do not want to engage any other muscles in this motion, aside from the ones surrounding the hips. Focus on getting the mind to muscle connection right, so you can raise your legs in isolation with your hips. Now you understand the general form, I'm going to show you how to do these. So first, lie on one side of your body. It helps to have your hands in front of your torso. So again, only using the muscles surrounding your hips, raise your leg laterally up and down slowly. You should raise the leg up and down at the same pace and focus on not kicking it. We're going to do 20 reps on each leg. This exercise focuses on hip abduction, which is when the leg is moved away from the midline of the body. This will train our tensor fasciae latae and gluteus medius muscle, which will increase the roundness and width of our hips. We're going to do a minimum of 12 reps all in one go before you can take any breaks, which would be up to 10 seconds within the exercise. You want to take your time, making sure to keep your body straight. Yes, it's supposed to burn, but no, that doesn't mean that you should speed up the reps. Don't speed up the reps. Be aware that your brain will automatically try to reduce the stress of the workout by tempting you to take unnecessary rests and using bad form. Just remember that fatigue itself has been correlated to muscle hypertrophy, which is growth. After this exercise, we will take 1 to 2 minutes of rest and move on to the second exercise. The second exercise is going to be 20 regular squats, just taking a little bit of a stretch there. So we want to assume a reverse hollow body modality, which simply means we want to push out our chest when doing this exercise. Next, we'll stand with our feet apart and keep our hands out in front to ensure we don't bend our torso. Then we will squat which resembles the motion of sitting down on the toilet. That's as low as we need to go. So our legs will form a 90-degree angle. Then we'll push back up using our quads and finish the motion off by gently thrusting our hips forward while squeezing our glutes. So we're going to go up and down at the same pace, making sure we keep our chest out throughout without bending our torso.
How does it always begin with me and you? I know our timing was off. I had some things that was bubbling, had to see them through. And don't start acting like I'm the reason you got your guard up. That's between he and you. Your insecurities led you to pile some bricks upon a wall about the size of Cuba. Conversations touch and go like we ride in an Uber. And while your insecurities start to drive your medulla, I get to making sense of things with my sense of humor. Try and go and hear this and ask how I know to switch up the vibe. To which I'm gonna respond as a feeling.
After this, again, we'll take a 1 to 2 minute rest, then proceed to the third exercise, which is going to be 10 sprint squats on each leg. So, we're going to get into a sprinting position and ensuring our fingertips are lightly placed on the ground. So, the first thing to do is remember the forwardmost leg is going to be placed flat whilst our rear leg will be on its tip-toe. Then we're going to push down using our forwardmost leg and get into a set position before slowly descending. Make sure that all the weight is on your forward leg. Do not raise your hips in the exercise. Focus on only pushing down with your forwardmost leg. You want to get a good stretch in this exercise as opposed to short bounces. Again, you'll go up and down at the same pace, but we'll do at least 6 consecutively before any break. This exercise has been created by the Zygostatics team and is amazing at engaging the vastus lataris muscle, which will increase the thigh sweep.
I'm trying to elevate. If I can't do it, then I delegate.
So we're going to take a 1 to 2 minute rest and then move on to our 20 standing lateral leg raises. So first we're going to take approximately 2 steps away from a wall or any surface that is sturdy. Then we're going to bend our torso and rest on it. In this fixed position, we're going to laterally raise our leg with our knees bent, only utilizing the muscles surrounding the hip. We're going to raise the leg up slowly and hold our leg in the uttermost position for 3 seconds before slowly descending. We want to keep our upper body in this position as we don't want our abs and obliques to engage in this workout at all. We're going to do at least 12 reps all in one go before we pause for a quick rest of up to 10 seconds if necessary. We will repeat for the other leg and that will conclude the first set of the workout. So at the end of each workout, you can take a 1 to 2 minute rest, but after the first set, you can take a 2 to 4 minute rest before you can start your second set. So we're going to do 3 sets of all 4 exercises. And remember, after each set, you can qualify for a 2 to 4 minute rest. Now each set will reduce the amount of reps we do by 2. So if we do 20 reps in the first set, we'll do 18 in the second and 16 in the third. Now, we're just going to give you some quick tips. Do this workout once a week on the same day. Do not do this workout every day. To get the most out of the workout, we need to give the muscles enough time to heal and grow. Also, make sure you're getting in enough protein and carbs. If you are overweight, don't increase your calories, just substitute junk foods for clean foods. Hopefully this workout helps. Let us know how you get on with it, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye!